That is, no one told us. Listen up. The room is hot. Spread out and search for intruders. No prisoners. Move.
So you know our Alex's mug?
I don't like this.
Yes.
I filled up maybe like a quarter of the way with vodka and the rest with like lemonade.
Some Arkham scum trying to get rich. We can have a little fun with them.
Holy shit. This is hitting me hard.
It's not like that drink I had last night was just fucking crazy. It was
What'd you have? Because you never told me what it was.
It was just highball, but it was like 80% whiskey. I had to
Did
wait
she just
for like
eat a shotgun blast to the face?
Of course.
Yeah. But it was like 80% whiskey, and I had to wait for a couple of the ice cubes in it to melt to like dilute it enough to where it was palatable to drink.
Yeah. Oh, this Mike's Hard Lemonade. Oh man, it's kicking my ass. It's destroying me from the inside out.
Oh my god, that Mike's was a very key component into like one of the drunkest I've ever been. Hot Dog Day junior year. I started with a 6-pack of Mike's and it was gone in like half an hour.
Was that the one where we were all eating, like, we had the ribs and you just had the Mike's 6-pack? And I look back half an hour later and you're 3 deep?
That was a different time, but that kind of led me to choose Mike's for that purpose later in the year.
I repeat, Batman is in the steel mill.
But I was just listening to Outkast and drinking some Mike's, and then I started moving on to those rums and cokes I mixed, which were really strong. And then by the time I got the Jakes, we were already to the Jaeger.
Understood.
And
Commencing in 3, 2.
Oh god, the Jaeger.
1.
And it was all downhill from there.
When Brian came to visit that weekend, he finished an entire bottle of Jaeger by himself, and he was only drinking Red Bull Jaegers. Like
that's what I did too.
Jaeger bombs, but like not shots. Just
No. I drank a little bit of Red Bull and then I fill up the difference with Jaeger.
Looks like these kittens got the cream.
That was where we went from there.
And he ended up getting a really serious bad migraine like 2 days later, and he was wondering why.
What a
it was because he got a caffeine addiction over the weekend with all the Red Bull and pre-workout he took from going to the gym.
Did he pack a lip full of pre-workout?
You just
literally.
You just said pre-workout, and my mind flashed back to Brinkley.
Yes, instantly to Brinkley. I just packed a whip of pre-workout. I threw up in the corner there.
Well, I just started taking a thermogenic, and I'm pretty sure it's really high in caffeine. Thermos are known for being like.
Why do you put this like barely tested shit in your body?
Whatever. Everybody's got to die sometime, right?
I would prefer if it wasn't over the course of an entire week where you lose your entire body weight in about a week and burn. You just burn.
Wait until Protocol 10 has completed and send out.
Try and tie me up in your plans.
At least it's not like
like hell.
Testosterone supplement. Like I know some people take. That shit'll give you nut cancer.
I don't know that there's been a very pronounced link between TRT and testicular cancer.
My friend.
If your friend is not a research
Brian,
MD, I don't.
Brian talked to somebody who was getting an MRI who was getting it was an MRI. I think it was like an X-ray or something like that. And he was telling him how he got testicular cancer from.
You'll never forget.
It might not have been proven, but he told him that he had just started he took a testosterone supplement for a while, and he said he got testicular cancer not necessarily from that, but
Since when
it
did you grow
scared
a
him
conscience?
enough to be like, all right, I'm not taking any testosterone
Is a
supplements.
girl's work never done? Hold on, handsome. I'm coming to save you.
So, moment of character growth for Catwoman there. We are saving the Batman. Instead of leaving him for dead with the loot. You can
Was
go the
that
other
choice
way.
you were able to make, or was
Yes,
that
it's
just...
a choice you're able... Well, kind of. So, if you go the other
See, I
way,
give up for
you,
Batman. You better not be.
you get a game over screen. It, like, does this alternate
Oh.
ending where Batman dies.
Well, what do we
I see.
have here? Figured you.
Look
could
at that
use my
Batman
help.
Beyond, though.
You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there.
You stick with the brooding. I'll handle the wisecracks. I guess you both know
Hey,
what Protocol 10 is now, right? If you're planning on stopping it, you need to hurry.
Alright, time to stop Protocol 10.
Now, couldn't Catwoman just go back and grab the loot and also leave?
Yes, I believe that's the implication of what she
Strange
does.
is launching missile strikes
Oh.
on Arkham City from
Well,
one
that's
tower.
not much of a choice then,
You
if
shut this
it's just
place
a
down.
detour.
Joker's taking Talia. I'm going after them.
You can't. Hundreds will be killed. I need your help to stop the attack.
He'll kill Talia.
You need to think this through. Batman can't let all these people die.
My tracker's not activating. Reroute all Wayne Tech satellites to boost the signal.
Wayne Tech.
I can't do that. I realize it is difficult, Sam. But you need to decide if one life is worth sacrificing to save a
Oh my
thousand.
god, that's so deep.
Don't do this, Alfred.
So philosophical.
Batman must save Gotham.
Trolley
I'm
problem
sorry,
in my video
but
game?
Don, you know I'm right.
Oracle.
Oh my god,
do
that was
not
great,
lose
wasn't
Talia's
it? In The
signal.
Dark Knight.
Okay. The tower's locked
What a
down.
fucking movie that
No
was.
way in without the codes. One of the choppers will be carrying the master control program.
That was
I just
classic.
need to find
Like,
that
honestly, Heath Ledger's Joker redefined what villains could be in a movie for me. Like, that was just
It's successful. Multiple
something
inmate
else.
casualties.
Yeah.
He earned that Oscar.
totally.
It's successful. Inmate
I feel like a lot of like movie producers or writers really need to focus more on the villain than like the hero.
The story is only as
Yes.
good as its villain.
multiple targets acquired.
Exactly.
Looking at you, Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've had a couple.
Two.
Like Loki.
They've had
Loki
two.
was amazing.
Loki and Obadiah Stane are the only really strong villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Obadiah was good. He's very I feel like he's underrated because I never hear anybody talking about him too
Because
much.
it was the first movie.
Yeah.
Multiple targets down.
But yeah,
Body count is high.
that's it. Like Ego was another. It's a contender, but it's not. I don't feel like he was as strong a villain as he could have been.
Targets are all
Yeah.
hit. Casualties in
And
sector
a lot of
one.
time it seems like some of the villains would be too overpowered if they like
Visual on target.
played them to their strengths, but they all seem to have that one weakness where it's like destroy the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
And they die.
I think I talked about it in our. I don't know if we did an Ultron review, but if we did, I've mentioned in past that I thought that Ultron they played the comedy aspect a little too much with him.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like terrified whenever he was on screen. Like I was terrified of the T-1000 whenever it was on screen in Terminator 2. You know, you just never know what was going
Agreed.
to happen.
No, he was football man. He was robot football man. Making jokes, wise, being macho.
But the thing about it is, like, there were some scenes where it was like, you know, he was legitimately terrifying.
We have no eyes on Batman.
Like the when he first introduced himself through one of the Tony Stark's
Yeah,
like robots.
and he was legitimately terrifying, and I'm like, that's what I want of him for the whole movie.
Like the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to laugh when he was on screen. I wanted to always be uneasy when he was on screen.
Yeah, having somebody who's a little bit more unstable, having a character who's a little bit more unstable that you never can like see coming.
Let's think about some of the greatest movies of all time, like the original Star Wars trilogy. If Darth Vader isn't as compelling a villain as he is, then those movies aren't nearly as good. It's one of the reasons why the prequels didn't work very well, is because they kept changing the villain. They didn't have one strong villain to build a narrative around.
I mean, I guess you could argue maybe the Emperor, but
he
we
doesn't
saw
have a
so little of him
role until the third movie in the prequel trilogy.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. You didn't see enough of him. You didn't hear enough of him. You just sort of knew about him from the information that they gave.
And I mean, he really didn't even have one name until, like, throughout the series. He was Darth Sidious in the first one, and I guess in the second one, but then he was Palpatine or the Emperor in the third one. I don't know, Davey.
Yeah.
Hoping for that Snoke action.
I don't remember what the Belated Media
I've got the code.
did a great
I'm heading to
series
Wonder Tower.
on what if the prequels were good. And
Yes, I've seen that.
The stories he pitched were
Don't
like
lose Talia's
top
signal.
notch.
When I'm finished in the
Make
tower,
me a little sad that we didn't get those.
or I'm going after her. She doesn't know Joker. She's out of her depth. I need to save her.
Because she's not, 100-some years old, and probably has a good head on her shoulders.
Well, I mean, she's never had to deal with the Joker. Like, remember in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, Bruce was like, Terry, you don't know what the fuck you're dealing with. I know you've battled some pretty intense villains in your time here as Batman, but the Joker is a completely different animal. You're not prepared for him.
True.
Have you guys done a a discussion of who maybe the worst villain in Marvel?
No, we
history
haven't,
was?
but we could do
In the
that.
Marvel Cinematic Universe, you mean? Or in Marvel history?
No. My bad. Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We haven't.
'Cause
But
I think that'd
we
be-
could definitely do that.
I think
Maybe
that'd be
for
an
next
interesting
week.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means I have to go. Who's the bad guy for Hulk OG?
The Abomination.
Abomination? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
was
Hulk
thinking
OG,
that-
like Ang Lee's Hulk.
No, we're talking. Yeah, I meant like the 2006 or whatever the new one was.
Right. Remember when they switched Ed Norton with Mark Ruffalo and hoped that no one would notice?
Was that a continuation of the storyline of
No,
the cinematic universe?
I don't think so.
Ed Norton to Mark Ruffalo?
So Ed Norton was was Bruce Banner in the Hulk standalone movie, but Mark Ruffalo was in the Avengers, and they just kind of hoped no one would notice.
So Mark
I think they
Ruffalo
knew
never got
because
a
it
stamp.
didn't sell that well at all. I feel like.
I don't know. It's kind of like when they replaced Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle for Rhodey.
Oh yeah. Did they ever make like a joke? Hey, did you get a haircut or something?
Maybe. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Iron Man 2.
What was it? Iron Man 2? That
Yeah.
they did that.
Yeah.
Who do you like better?
I think Don Cheadle's the better actor, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I would have liked some continuity there.
Yeah.
Those Tiger Guards have stun sticks. I need to attack from behind to avoid being hit.
This is one of the reasons I like the Batman games. Is even at the end here, they're introducing new combat challenges. You can never get too comfortable with what you're used to.
I think that's kind of an interesting point, because when I first heard you say that, I thought to myself, the people would complain. I would see some people complain that this late into the game they'd be introducing new stuff, but that's usually talking about mechanics. This is just talking about new ways to approach problem. You're still using all the same mechanics that you have.
Yeah.
But I could see people confusing that easily, and it's something that shouldn't be confused. Because one's good and the other's kind of... It's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
Your presence creates these animals. Like germs, they spread. You created the environment that
Can you hear the
allowed
dialogue
germs
okay?
to mutate, to become stronger.
Yes.
Look at the Joker.
Okay.
Would he even exist if not for you? It must be...
This is one of my favorite philosophical questions with Batman. Are these villains in response to the presence of Batman? Or is Batman, you know, a creation of these villains?
Beautiful. We have at long last defeated the great
Yeah.
Batman. Soon
It's like the
I will take my rightful place at my
the
master's side.
what was the Civil War
Rule over this world.
in Captain America: Civil War
Team Iron
when
Man.
what's his face was bringing up the idea that the supervillains, like the villains in like world-ending catastrophes, increased as heroes, like increase in numbers.
Yeah. I wish they had done a better job with Civil War, honestly. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Sokovia Accords were such a toothless agreement, where it's like, where would any of the objection be to? Because with the Superhero Registration Act in the comics, it was like there were real stakes for these heroes. Like, they had to give up their secret identity, and it was, you know, very much a tough decision where I could sympathize with the anti-registration cause. But in the movie, it's like, you know, why not just go along with it? Because we saw Tony Stark openly defied his end of the bargain at the end there. So, like, where was the conflict at any point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the power scaling in that movie is way off. It pissed me off.
Was there... Wait, well, now you have to elaborate.
Well, I talked about it when we did the review, but like the thing that got me most is like when Spider-Man is throwing down with Captain America. Captain America's strong, right? He's the peak of human physicality, but Spider-Man is superhumanly strong. He has strength proportional of a human to that of a spider, so he can lift like roughly 100 times his body weight or something like that.
Yeah.
There's no way Captain America should be able to outpower Spider-Man. But since it's his movie, we gotta give him the scene where he stands triumphant and makes the joke about being from Brooklyn and, well, Spider-Man's from Queens.
Right. And then, you know, same sort of thing. You cut to Spider-Man Homecoming where he's holding a fucking boat together with nothing but his own body.
Yeah. Spider-Man's really strong. I don't know if people realize that, but he's really fucking strong.
I mean, maybe you can make the like argument that Captain America caught him off guard,
That's
and with
such
that
a weak
spin attack,
argument,
he like
though.
kind of.
But he
brought him
like
towards
still, it was a test of strength that he won, which shouldn't happen.
I'm gonna blame it. Not that I'm making any excuses, but I'm maybe gonna blame it on more the fact that the Spider-Man's still a little naive at that point and doesn't
but
know
he,
how to
like,
fully control his powers. We don't
Captain
really know how
America
long.
got the best of so many people in that movie.
How long has he had his powers at that point? Do we know?
I don't know. It's hard. I don't remember enough from Spider-Man: Homecoming to know exactly how long it was.
Well, all right. Let's suss it out. Let's do some theory crafting here. All right. Now, Tony Stark got word of Spider-Man through his exploits on social media.
Yeah.
So we'll start from there, right? And he's about a senior in high school or a junior. Where was he?
I think
in
he was
Homecoming?
a sophomore.
I think he was a sophomore.
Okay, sophomore. So he's a sophomore in high school. So he's been spidering for a while, and him being a sophomore in high school,
I would say
he had
8
to make
months.
the suit. It's months.
I think he was 8
Yeah,
months into his Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would say like late freshman year, he probably went on a science trip with his class or something, or as a science dealio, maybe with the science club, and there's where he got bit.
Yeah.
I think they should really do a Spider-Man backstory. I don't think that's really clear amongst.
Because everyone knows the Spider-Man backstory, right? I was very pleased with Homecoming that they didn't do an origin story. Everyone
totally.
knows.
Yeah, we all know we don't need to be bashed in the face with like Spider-Man origin stories like we do with well, we don't really have that with Batman. How many origin stories do we have? We have Batman Begins and
it was just Batman
Amazing
Begins.
Spider-Man.
Because because in the 1989 Batman they didn't really touch too much on well they show the Joker killing his parents, but it wasn't a full-blown origin story.
In the comics, is it the Joker or is it that one guy like
It's Joe Chill. It's Joe Chill.
Okay, Joe Chill. That's what it is.
Yeah.